Hi! Good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time you are viewing this presentation. I would like to welcome you, my dear sophomores, in our JEC 11 orientation. For this orientation, we actually have three major objectives. First is for you to get oriented or reoriented of the basics of the university. Second is for you to gain awareness of the grading system, course description, and requirements of JEC 11. And the third is for our Q&A session. But since this is not a synchronous communication, you can just leave your chat in our chat box here in our VLP. So let's kickstart this orientation with the first addendum, the CBSUA basics. For this session, we are going to refresh our minds of the PVMGO of our university, followed by core values, the quality policy, college goals, and department goals. So let's start. The philosophy, vision, mission, goals, and objectives. This was taken from our university website, and I know you've undergone this already in your CRAng training. Nevertheless, I am still impelled to give you a brief reorientation. Impelled or compelled? I think it's compelled. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so for our philosophy, we have education for sustainable human development. This is our guiding principle as a university. In the foreseeable future, we see ourselves in our vision as an agricultural research university of global standards. For our mission, we are leading innovations, building resilient and sustainable communities. We have 6 goals as a university, and those are enable transformative and inclusive learning experiences, generate and utilize new knowledge and technologies, engage and empower communities, intensify internationalization and resource generation initiatives, establish one e-governance system, and enhance management of university resources. I know you are already feeling these goals at work, especially that we now have our institutional email. So I think the 5th goal is coming into fruition. Now let's move forward to the core values of our university. And what are those? We have initially the original 5. Quality and excellence. It is followed by teamwork and unity, institutional pride, professionalism, and liberalism. But since President Perry has sworn into office, he also introduced to us his 3 major core values. And those are care, okay? Particularly, especially in this trying times, he would want us to be considerate of one another and as we face this new normal. Next, we have responsibility. This will be a very challenging time, so we must be responsible, both the teachers and the students, to do our respective tasks properly. And the most needed and imperative right now, we have discipline. But since you don't have anymore your teachers to look over your shoulders, watching over you, reminding you to study this and study that, you ought to develop self-discipline. Now, I would like to present to you the quality policy of Central Bicol State University of Agriculture. We commit to lead innovations in instruction, research, extension, and resource generation for client satisfaction, resilient, and sustainable communities. Our clients being you. CBSUA is also dedicated to uphold its core values and principles, which I have just gone over. Satisfy all applicable requirements and standards through continual improvement of the QMS, or the Quality Management System. Now let's proceed with the objectives. So before you are the college goals, the teacher education goals, and of course the program objectives of BSE. So we aim to become a premier college in developmental education in the country and in the ASEAN region by 2024, extolling excellence in instruction, research, community engagement, and project development programs. Specifically, we intend to, first, provide high-quality education experience to our pre-service teachers. Second, generate relevant and responsive technologies through educational research and development. Third, empower community engagement. And the last, upgrade and develop appropriate instructional materials. Now, you would notice that our college goals are parallel to our university goals. And so with our educational objectives. So we have 7 main objectives as a program, a BSE program. So the first, you should be able to feel this one getting imbibed in you. Number 1, you ought to articulate the relationship of education to larger historical, social, cultural, and political processes. Next, you must be able to facilitate learning using a wide range of teaching methodologies in various types of environment, online environment being one. Third, develop alternative teaching approaches for diverse learners. Fourth, apply skills in curriculum development, lesson planning, materials development, instructional delivery, and educational assessment. Fifth, demonstrate basic HOTS in planning, assessing, and reporting. Sixth, practice professional and ethical teaching standards to respond to the demands of the community. Lastly, pursue lifelong learning for personal and professional growth. Maybe you are wondering, where did we take this from? Not only were they aligned to our university goals and college goals, but they were also taken from the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. So these are the standards that you ought to achieve, that you ought to attain as you become future teachers. So it will be further discussed in the teaching profession subject, if I'm not mistaken, but allow me to introduce to you the 7 domains in which you are being honed. First is the learning environment. Second, the content, knowledge, and pedagogy. Third, diversity of learners. Fourth, personal growth and professional development. Next, curriculum and planning, assessment and reporting, and of course, community linkages and professional engagement. Furthermore, this was also taken from the new teacher education curriculum. This is actually a page from that CHED Memorandum Order Series of 2017. Now we're done with the CBSUA basics. I hope you've absorbed some, if not all, of the basic information of our university and your college. On to the course. Your course is 3 units, which focuses on gender as a social construction, its role and impact on different facets of societal life. In this course, you, the pre-service teachers, are expected to demonstrate gender-fair use of language, promote non-discriminatory learning environment, embrace the concept of diversity among learners and society as a whole. So this course will cover different gender theories, issues, and legal bases that promote equitable development for all. So these are some of the activities. Kindly just read. Furthermore, you are expected to demonstrate a sound understanding of gender preferences and respect for diversity while infusing the core values which we just have tackled. And of course, while developing your higher order thinking skills. So, JEC 11, Gender and Society, and yours truly, Joanna Marie B. Perez. I'm your instructress for this semester. We will be together online for 18 weeks, covering 6 units and 3 assessments. These are the major course outcomes that you ought to have at the end of the semester. First, live with the VMGO and the core values of CBSUA. Next, hopefully at the end of this semester, you could be able to explain the difference between sex and gender and describe how both gender and sex are socially constructed. Third, you ought to demonstrate an understanding of the different sociological theories, political perspectives, and laws relative to gender. Next, analyze and articulate how gender influences society and individuals and how gender intersects with race, ethnicity, class, religion, etc. Fifth, mainstream, a gender-responsive, and gender-sensitive learning environment, and lastly, integrate and synthesize core knowledge to compare and analyze complex issues by developing a research paper relevant to gender and society. I know it's quite taxing to look at, but allow me to show you a bird's eye view of what really to expect in our course. All right. I hope you have gained an understanding of what to expect in JEC 11. If you've read all the activities in there, okay, we will be having webinars and creation of infographic materials, okay, for some. And of course, our three major assessments. So it's a comparative analysis, brief research, and the major examination. Don't worry if you still don't have any idea of what those are. I'll be providing you examples before demanding you to submit those requirements. Now, on to the course calendar.